I'd like to share the biggest insight I had this past week, and that is I have not been processing something traumatic in the right way. Briefly, I was unfortunate to be engaged in a very traumatic relationship last year. We have been separated for over 9 months now, and all this time I wouldn't be left alone. I would be pursued, I would be contacted through you name it, any way possible. And so at some point I said, okay, that's enough. I can't take it anymore. And I went to search for legal help. And the person was given their restraining order. And I was like, okay, now I can breathe. Now I can finally consider myself single, because up until recently, I still felt that presence of that energy. But then a few weeks after that, I was given a call by the authorities just to be updated on the status. And I was given a court date. The person has to present themselves to court on that and that date, and they have to plead guilty or not, and then the prosecutor would decide to pursue with that or not. And just the slight chance of that not being pursued and the file being dismissed, it's a slight chance because there is enough evidence, but still hearing that put me into a state of terror. I couldn't feel my legs, I couldn't feel my arms, I felt a knot in my stomach. It's as if I was punched. And the first thought I had in my head, I have to flee the country. And that's when I realized, and also some other situations when I wouldn't be able to literally to go to the neighborhood where he lives. And once I did, because I had an event there and I was terrified. I thought I saw him in the street and I was like all shaking. My friend who was with me, she was like, what's happening to you? Like, I've never seen you like that. And after that phone call, I realized that I'm suffering from PTSD. And I still have that trauma, even though I thought I had it all processed in my head. I had absolutely no hard feelings. Like, it's over. I'm past it. Like, I'm moved on. It's over. But my body is not over it. There is still stuff in my body. Like, I paid attention to that reaction of my body and I was shocked. And so I asked for any help, any psychological help they could give me. And I was contacted by a helpline straight away. And this is when I had the biggest insight. They actually asked me like, okay, what are you, hoping for to receive from us? And I said, well, I just need somebody to hear me out, to talk to me. Because every time I would talk to my friends, they wouldn't understand what I have been going through. They wouldn't understand this type of relationship. That would actually blame me for my choice, that I didn't see those signs straight away and stuff like that. And every time, I would start vocalizing my fears or whatever, it would be just dismissed. And like, I would be told nonsense, like, don't think about it. Go meditate, and people just consider me, I don't know, if you meditate, then that's it. You're not a human. You can't feel anything negative. You're just riding unicorns all the time. I told the helpline that I feel that it's not processed by my body. She was like, okay, but how have you been processing that? And I'm like, I don't know, meditating, trying to talk to my friends, walking, physical activity, whatever it is. But she's like, at the same time, you are trying to avoid thinking about it. You are trying to avoid those negative thoughts, and you're not allowing those fears to come, and like be consumed by those fears. And I'm like, yeah, I'm scared to go down the rabbit hole. And she said, well, maybe you should. When those feelings arise, when those thoughts arise, let them, because this is actually how the body processes it. This is how the body processes the trauma. And if you have those feelings, those thoughts, those fears coming up, let them. And by thinking about it, by not dismissing them, you're getting rid of them, and you see them as just thoughts. You see them as unreal. Like, you kind of like separate yourself from that. But as long as they live inside, they still live in your body. As long as you dismiss them and like shove them somewhere deep inside, they're still part of you. When you let them out, they're not part of you anymore. And it's actually very important. And this is when I realized that I have been doing it all wrong. I was confusing it with the mindset. And when you are supporting somebody and somebody is going through a traumatic experience and they're just trying to void all that, and they're trying to, take everything out, no matter how negative it is, let them talk. Because this is not about the mindset. It's two completely different things. Mindset is when a person is nagging and complaining and being negative every single day, no matter what. This, we're talking about a specific situation. And I was confusing it, and my friends were confusing it with the mindset. You don't want those thoughts to become a reality, don't think about it. And I wouldn't let myself think about it. And at the end of the day, it was still in my body, and probably it still is. So yeah, this was just mind-blowing for me. Such a simple phrase, such a simple piece of information, and it's so valuable. So I hope this video helps somebody.